Hi, today I'm going to show you some basic operations that you can do with matrices. And they're going to include finding the transpose of a matrix and multiplying and dividing matrices. Alright, let's start with the easy stuff, transposing. So let's say we have a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know transpose sounds kinda complicated, but it's really not at all. Basically what it means is making the rows into columns and the columns into rows. So the column 1, 3 would become a row 1, 3, and then the column 2, 4 will become the row 2, 4. See, it's really simple, right? That's all there is to it. This is the transpose of A. So let's say this was matrix A. This would be notated as A with a little t like that. That would be the transpose of A. Alright, that was easy, right? Alright, now let's get into multiplying matrices. So, again, I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4 just for the sake of time. And we'll start out by multiplying a matrix by a vector. And basically what a vector is, if you don't know, it's just a one column matrix. Really simple. So, this is a vector right here. Just one column, like that. Alright, so what we do with this is we, hang on a sec. I need to change something. Alright, okay, there. So, how we do this is, you wanna, here, I'll color code this. You wanna multiply this times these two first. So how you would do that would be so you do this times this and then this times this. So 1 times 1, and then you add them. So 1 times 1 plus 3 times 2. So 1 times this 1 and then this 3 times this 2. And that would be 7. And then the bottom row is the same exact thing. The 2 times the 1 and plus the 4 times 2. So 2 times 1 plus 4 times 2, which would be 3 plus 8, which would be 11. There, that's simple. That's how you multiply a matrix by a vector. But now you want to know how to multiply a matrix by one more matrix. And this is slightly more complicated, but it's not too bad. So let's do here, let me just make a new matrix. I'll do this time 1, I'll have the 2 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 times the other matrix times, let's just make it 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, for the sake of time, because if you do big numbers, it'll have like bigger numbers, so it'll take longer. Sorry about that. But alright, so we set up our two matrices, and now what we want to do is multiply. Okay, this one's a little different than the vector. On the vector, we did this row times this like that, but this time we're gonna do the opposite actually. So it'll be this column times this row. Does that make sense? Alright, so yeah, we'll do that. And then after that, we just do we do the second column times this row. So it's kind of similar if you think about it. Okay, so 1 times 5 plus 3 times the 7. Oh yeah, and by the way, just a note, it's kind of random, but in matrices, you can't do like the opposite times the opposite. Like, no, sorry, like in like regular numbers multiplication, like it would be like 2 times 4 would equals the same thing as 4 times 2, right? They both equals 8. But okay, don't do this with matrices, because if you do that with matrices, you'll get totally different answers. Because there's no you can't do that. Like this matrix times this matrix is not the same as this matrix times this matrix. So don't ever do that, because you'll get different answers most of the time. If you get really lucky, you might get the same answer, but that's really where that's not probably not gonna happen, because it's different. Alright, but back to this. So 1 times 5 equals 5, and then plus 21 would be 26. So I'll make our new matrix over here. The first thing would be a 26. Hang on. Alright. Oh my gosh, sorry. I just messed this whole thing up. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I told you before, I told you wrong. Okay, you know, I said this. Okay, it's actually, oh my gosh, sorry. Hang on one sec. Okay, I told you it's the column times the row, but it's actually the row times the column. Sorry, my bad. I made a really big mistake. I apologize. Okay, so let's do this again. 1 times 5 plus 2 times 6. So 5. Wait, hang on a second. Yeah, so, yeah. 5 plus 12 would be 17. So, our first thing will be 17. And next we'll do, the second column, which will be 1 times 7 plus 2 times 8, sorry. So 7 plus 16, 23. Okay, so next we'll do, yeah, alright. Okay, so next we'll do 3 times 5 plus 4 times 6, so 15 plus 24 equals 39. So we'll have 39 here. And just a review, if you lost, I just did this 3 times the 5 and then the 4 times the 6, so it's the same thing that we've been doing. Okay, next, so we'll do the 4 times 7 plus the 4 times 8. Wait, one second. No, it'd be 3 times 7, sorry. Here, where is that? 3 times 7 plus 4 times 8. So that'd be 21 plus 32, and some math, that would be 53. So that is how you multiply a matrix by a matrix. And the division is the exact same thing, except you just have a division sign and you just divide everything instead of multiplying what I'm doing. Alright, thank you for watching the video, and see you later.